Discover matches.
This is Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank here on WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. And the time now is 8:11. It is time now for another interview segment, and those interview segments are presented by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Taking a look and a listen this morning to the Accuweather forecast, we're hearing about Tropical Rainstorm Fred. And of course, Tropical Storm Fred is currently making its way into the southern part of the United States, and we're going to see some remnants of it. So how will it affect Indiana County? Joining us right now, Accuweather meteorologist Jason Nicholls. And Jason, thank you very much for joining us.
Great to be here.
All right, so let's talk about things right now. What is the status of Tropical Storm Fred as we speak?
Right now it's a tropical depression, and it's located just to the east of Montgomery, Alabama, kind of near the Alabama-Georgia border. Tracking towards the northeast pretty quickly. Kind of a small system, but does have a lot of moisture with it, and that's probably the main concern going forward as it tracks kind of along the spine of the Appalachians almost.
So the probability of us seeing even just the remnants of it, or just the outer edges of tropical, what should be rainstorm Fred by tomorrow, is going to be pretty high for Indiana County.
Yes, it looks like a pretty good chance we'll see some rain from that system. The models do vary on tracks. Some are a little bit farther west, maybe closer towards the Ohio border. Others are a little bit farther east towards the spine of the Appalachians, or maybe just east of it. But I think here in Indiana, we're definitely going to see some rain from Fred. Could come in as early as very late tonight, probably towards the pre-dawn hours. Could be the earliest, but I think the bulk of it is during the day on Wednesday.
So during the daytime, people should be aware of what's going on. This could be, so obviously this is going to be some heavy rainfall. Could bring some flash flooding then, it sounds like. Yes,
good chance for at least a good chance for a couple of inches of rain at least. Could be more. Flash flooding will be the main threat. Also have to watch some of those small streams and rivers from rising waters due to some of the recent rains we've had as well. So could be some, but I think the main threat is probably flash flooding, and again, maybe watching those small streams and creeks.
Mm-hmm. So, Jason, what should people do whenever they encounter some flooded areas?
If you're driving in a car, do not drive over flooded waters, because it's hard to tell exactly how deep that water is and if the road is actually intact underneath. And really, it only takes a few inches of water, of rapidly moving water, to actually pick up your car and move it along. So if you do encounter like a flooded roadway, the best course of action is to turn around, don't drown kind of idea. Just stay away from the floodwaters, because a lot of that water is usually fast-moving, very muddy. It's hard to see what's going on underneath that water and exactly to judge how deep that water actually is.
And also, one of the things, and this was something that I had seen happen one time, I think a couple of years ago, whenever we did see some creeks overflowing because of some very heavy rainfall that had come through the area. People were playing in the flooded areas. That's a big no-no as well.
Yeah, that's a big no-no as well. Like I said, usually with floodwaters, the water's not sitting still. It's usually moving along, and you could get caught by the undertow, and actually there could be something underneath the surface of the water that's moving along in the water that could come out and take your legs out from under you, and it's very dangerous to go in any kind of floodwaters at all. Flash flooding, creeks, streams, anything like that. Best course of action is to just kind of stay away from those areas if at all possible.
All right. So, but it looks like we're seeing a lot of rain, a lot of precipitation throughout the rest of this week. Friday may be our only spot where we're going to stay dry for a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like overall, Fred's just kind of a part of an overall pretty wet week across the area, and that's part of the reason there could be a little bit more in the way of small stream and creek flooding is due to the already saturated ground. So Fred's just kind of coming in the middle of this and going to dump a lot of rain in a very short period of time. It looks like it's a fairly fast-moving system, so it probably rains pretty heavily for maybe like a 12, maybe 18-hour period, and then it's largely moved away, and we're back into kind of a shower thunderstorm regime Very wet week overall.
Yeah, definitely. Well, who knows? Maybe next week it'll be a little bit drier, a little bit more pleasant. So
yeah, it should be.
We'll keep
at least less wet than this week.
We'll keep our fingers crossed. Jason, thank you very much for joining us here on Indiana in the Morning, and we'll probably see if we can get some more information on how Fred is traveling up the coast and up the area in tomorrow morning. Thanks again.
Okay. Have a good day.
You too, Jason. Jason Nicholls with Accuweather joining us this morning on Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank on the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160.